I need you to do something for me, okay? I want you to imagine what your first anime was. It might be something niche, mainstream, a movie, an OVA, whatever. I just want you to imagine it. Got it? Good. Now, you may not believe me, but I'm something of an anime fan myself, and I'm sure all 7 of you are pondering, thinking, contemplating over how I, 𝗦𝗍cie at youtube.com, could have possibly gotten into anime. And the answer to that? Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Huh? Okay, yeah, this is a Sword Art Online video, but let me just explain, okay? I was but a humble Sonic fanatic. Thank God I grew out of that, am I right? And I adored everything Sonic, which, to me, was anything to do relating to Sonic Generations, because I had a child brain. And one day, one fateful day, I stumbled upon a certain video by one of my favorite YouTubers. A mod putting Sonic into some random game called Dragon Ball Xenoverse. And while watching the video, I stumbled upon a single word that changed my life. Anime. And after a little bit of looking around, I realized this anime was some kind of cartoon thing. So, being a intellectual smart child, I went on Netflix and searched up anime. What the hell is a Sword Art Online? Now, in case the title didn't really explain what this video is, allow me. Basically, I'm gonna just talk about Sword Art Online since it was my first ever anime, specifically the Aincrad Arc. What I liked about it, what I didn't like, characters, music, yada yada yada. This ain't gonna be a totally not marked type of video where I go in depth about it. I kinda just want to talk about an anime that means a lot to me after I rewatched it recently. Also, this is probably obvious, but spoiler warning if you haven't seen SAO, because well, I'm going to be talking about it. Okay, enough waiting. Let's start off with... In all honesty, the story for the Aincrad Arc is pretty simple. But in case you've forgotten, let me give you a little recap. Kirito, the main character, and around 10,000 other players get stuck in a virtual reality game called Sword Art Online. Hey, that's the name of the series. Well, that's okay. We can probably just wait for the devs to fix it.
Stand ready for my arrival, worm.
Knock knock, fuckers. It's Kaiba Akihiko, and he says that if you die in the game, you die in real life. Alright, see ya. So now, they gotta clear all 100 floors and beat the final boss to clear the game. And it takes them 1 month to clear the first floor. Anyway, yada yada yada, Kirito gets a harem or something, yada yada yada, Kirito becomes the sword avatar, yada. Okay, here we go. Heathcliff, a commander for a big guild, is revealed to be...
Yes, I am Akihiko Kaiba.
Thomas? Nah, it's me.
Kirito challenges him to a final duel. He dies, but his Dokkan revival skull met its conditions. Okay, so maybe I left out a few details, but that's about the gist of the main plot. Look, man, I don't want to go episode by episode like I originally planned, okay? This is the best I can do. So, the story itself is pretty hit or miss. Good on paper, but kinda executed a little poorly with all the time jumps.
Now let's see how it looks so far.
But to be honest, I don't really feel like the story is the main focus of this arc. Take the Fairy Dance arc, for example. Pretty much every episode somewhat pushes the story along with the main goal of rescuing Asuna. Whether I prefer the Fairy Dance arc or not... We'll just have to see if there's a part 2 for this video. So yeah, the story is simple but pretty good.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Alright, let's see what's next. Ooh, how about the world building? Now, I really like how Aincrad looks and works. It can look pretty dang nice in some places, like the flower place on floor 47. Floor 61 looks nice. It ain't that hard to believe why some of the players just gave up and settled down. That being said, although the places we see are pretty nice, some of them also look really similar to each other. And there's a whole bunch of floors we never even saw. Don't get me wrong, I don't think they should have shown every last floor, but we only saw like 14 of them. Aside from that, Aincrad does at least feel lived in. There's restaurants, caves, you can buy houses, hell, you can even...
Don't let your kids what's it?
Never mind that last part. There's also a side comment, but the whole of the Sword Art Online series does have really cool looking worlds. You know, Alfheim, Gungale, the games make good use of it. The world isn't the most important thing to focus on, but I think they did a good job on it. For a good anime to work, you gotta have good characters. It just makes sense, right?
Get the hell out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Okay. Get out!
I don't really say there's any characters I hate, but most of them outside of the main cast are kinda meh. But we're not here for the side characters, we're here for the gang. Kirito is a decent protagonist. Sure, he is kind of the, ooh, I'm so cool and strong and all the girls want to fuck me, serve it, but I feel like he gets a little too much hate. He isn't the most unique character type. In fact, he's a pretty stereotypical chronic hero. But I think it's that standardness that lets us almost slip into the role of Kirito. Hell, in most of the games that have customization, you take the role of Kirito. Technically speaking, his character type isn't necessary for the story, but rather is meant for you to envision yourself as him, since he's so basic. I actually ended up liking Asuna a lot more than I remembered. Don't get me wrong, I never hated her or anything, but I kinda just remembered her as the girl.
And I understand the ladies.
But on rewatch, she was one of my favorite characters. She starts off as a kind of mysterious and stern yet determined person who's only really focused on making it through the game rather than living it.
あなたね、分かっているの？こうして一日無駄にした分、現実での私たちの時間が失われていくのよ。
でも今、俺たちが生きているのはこのアインクラッドだ。
Then she took a nap with Kirito and got goofy.
Hey, carry me on your shoulders.
Aren't you a little old for that, though?
It doesn't matter how old I am. Come on, it's not like anyone's gonna see us. Oh my god, is he younger than me?
What did he say?
I don't really have much to say about 𝗬𝗍 for Aincrad because she doesn't really do a whole lot aside of her episode. She's in no way a bad character. She's nice, pretty funny.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
And the whole big brother, little sister thing they gave her in Kirito is cute. No complaints outside of some weird fan service choices, but still nothing really bad about her. Ah yes, my goat! I'm not sure why, but I always really liked 𝗬𝗍. She's goofy, she's animated as hell, she's funny, but also has some more emotional moments. I like that they set her up in a past episode as a friend of Asuna's, and she does actually show up every now and then. I just enjoy myself when she's on screen. Maybe I just like tomboys, I don't know. 𝗦𝗍 is kind of a meh villain. Like, really think about it for a second. He traps people in his game, announces that they're stuck, and then at some point just decides to start role-playing as 𝗦𝗍.
趣味がいいとは言えないぜ。最強のプレイヤーがいって最悪のラスボスか。
なかなかいいシナリオだろう。
Dude, I'm watching the stream. Why you try not to laugh, bro? That's disrespectful.
Speaking of, 𝗦𝗍 is also kind of meh too. They do a good job portraying him as like some overpowered player who's just a god.
Fight back! Fight back! Fight back! Fight back!
Which technically he is because he's a damn cheater. 𝗬𝗍's an interesting case. She only really appears in one episode outside of flashbacks, but she's a really important, pivotal character for Kirito, and her struggles and fears over death felt real.
私、死ぬの怖い。
死ぬのが怖い。
怖くて、この頃あまり眠れないの。
Not to get too much into it, but on rewatch, I strangely related to her. Whether that's concerning on my mental health is up to you.
Let me guess. He died?
Her eventual death is a really good moment. Kirito feels at fault, and technically it is his fault she and their other party members died because he hid info from them.
そうだ。俺の思い上がりが 君たちを殺した。俺が自分のレベルを隠してさえいなければ。
ありがとう。さよなら。
Come on, man, it's Sword Art Online. How could I not talk about the music? For people who watch this like I did, this soundtrack is just nostalgia incarnate. Nostalgia aside, it does a pretty good job at setting a scene or giving you an emotion. Like, listen to some of these and try to imagine what kind of scene could be happening. This anime genuinely has some of my favorite anime soundtracks. If you get nothing else from this video, please just go give the soundtrack a listen.
Let me break it down for you, Mark.
Sword Art Online started off as a light novel, then a manga, and eventually into the anime we know and have mixed feelings about. And I thought it'd be interesting to see if the manga is different to the anime in major ways. How am I going to do that, you ask?
Y'all thought I was messing around, huh?
Sure, I could have just gone online and read it, but where's the fun in that? So, let's get this shit on. The first noticeable difference is that it actually starts at the 𝗦𝗍𝗶𝗲 fight, which in the anime happened in episode 9. However, this is only a little glimpse into future as it soon cuts to 2 years ago, where Klein and Kirito are training. The manga gets to the point much quicker than episode 1. We're given a quick explanation of the world and how the nerve gear works, and then thrown into the reveal that, ayo, we're stuck in the game. Something else that's interesting is that we're shown a player that resembles 𝗍𝗶𝗲 while Kayaba is giving a speech. It might not be him, but it definitely looks like him. And after this is a massive change. It immediately skips to 2 years later.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, we go all the way from episode 1 to episode 8. No 𝗦𝗍𝗶𝗲, no 𝗦𝗍𝗍, no 𝗦𝘄cie. All of that just skipped over. Okay, so I did a bit more research, and I kind of thought that like 𝗦𝗍𝗶 and 𝗦𝗍𝗍 were like anime exclusive. They're actually in the light novel, but the manga just skipped it for some reason. Okay, let's get back.
Excuse me, what the actual...
Eventually, we get to the events of episode 3 with the moonlit black cats. It's only for a bit, but instead of Kirito just explaining it to Asuna, it's more of a flashback. So yeah, the manga is pretty different, at least in Aincrad. No 𝗦𝗍𝗶𝗲, no 𝗦𝗍𝗍, no first floor boss scene with Kirito and Asuna, the whole murder plot thing isn't there, which actually I kind of appreciate because that was kind of mid. Okay, I guess there's no point putting it off. Let's talk about the shit stuff.
Oh, yeah!
So, my main issues with the anime specifically are the episode lengths and how time is paced. Because there's a lot of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. Like, for example, the whole of Aincrad takes place over 2 years. We start episode 1, and then episode 2 skips a month. Okay. Episode 3 is another 4 months, and then it goes pretty normal, reaching around the 2-year mark in episode 8. And then the last 6 episodes take place over around a month. While it doesn't necessarily feel rushed, it seems like most people agree more episodes should have been spent in Aincrad instead of just the 14 we got, and then they moved on to 𝗦𝗨. I do also wish some characters got more screen time or stuff to do, but I guess since most of the events or characters weren't in the manga until the fairy dance arc, they probably just adapted what they could from the light novel, so what are you gonna do? The last thing I think is pretty weird is the strange amount of fan service in it, especially with 𝗦𝗍𝗍 in her episode.
Whoa, 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 hey!
Now, obviously, fan service isn't something new in anime. Thousands of anime has it, but it feels kind of out of place in Sword Art Online. I wouldn't really call it like a fan service-y anime. At least at the start. And that's about everything I've got to say. Is it a masterpiece? No. Honestly, I wouldn't even put it in my top 10. But I definitely enjoyed it more on rewatch than I thought I would. I think it's worth a watch for most anime fans. And if you're a newbie anime fan like I was, I'd consider this one as one of the starter anime to watch. Sword Art Online definitely isn't the most favorable anime, it's pretty infamous, but I think it has something to offer you if you give it a chance. Now of course I'm based, it was my first anime I ever watched after all, I grew up on this shit. And while I may have fallen out of the anime recently, I still have yet to watch Alicization. This world, the series, the characters, and the many, many 10 trillion games that have come out over the years, I can't help but love them all. And yeah, that's Sword Art Online. And yeah, that's my first anime. Thanks for watching, I guess.